first of all, could you please tell me about your recent projects, like where you have been working just recently in the past 1 year, or like how many projects you have delivered or engaged within that period of time, and what was your roles on those projects, and what features you have developed?
So I am in total I do have 3 years of experience as in full stack web developer. So in my previous company, in the first company, it was IndusNet Technologies. I was full stack web developer. I have worked there more than 2 years, and I was handling a complex project. It was with Dr. Reddy's. It was the biggest client of that company. And the project I was working on is we were working from last 6 years. So handling such kind of project is such an honorable thing for me. And I was in that organization. I was handling. We were following the agile methods. Like we were working sprint wise. So as in full stack web developer, my task was to handling discussion with clients, handling clients, and after that assign task assignment was done. So if the task is assigned to me, I have to first of all I have to plan, then I have to execute within a deadline, then give it to the testing team. So one of the tasks I would say it was like on the user onboarding page, which is already created. I need to do I need to do a slide change. It was like if the company domain is already registered to the database, it is already exists. So I will not verify it further more steps like approval and everything. We have to skip that part, and we will directly move that user to the dashboard page. So this was the part, and the code is already written, so I have to just modify that. And from the backend, I have to modify that logic. I have to make my own logic just to check whether the company exists or not, and that is valid or not. The user is approved or not, and then I have to land that user to the dashboard page. So by this, we have reduced uh, four steps of the user, and user engagement increased on the web application by this. And from the front end side, I need to integrate that API on the page. So this was the task, a sample task, I would say. I have done in the IndusNet Technologies. After that, I joined Nityo Tech on February, and on that we were working on a microservice architecture, and I am working as a backend developer. In that, the backend is on NestJS, and we were following microservice architecture along with my Kafka, Docker, containerization, and hosting it on AWS. So I have made a AI dialer there. In that, what we were doing is the feature is taking random 5 to 6 numbers from the database, and we will automatically call them. The system will automatically call them, and we will record whether the call has been answered, ignored, dismissed, and whatever it is. So what it will benefit is it doesn't require a manual intervention of any person. The system is automatically calling, and marketing is automatically done by the system. So this is how I have done. It is in NestJS and Microservices. So, yeah.
So, are you aware about like the security protocols or the security techniques you can follow in your backend in your Node.js application to make your application more secure? Are you aware about some security protocols? Like, if you are, you can let me know.
Yeah, for security of APIs from the backend end, I have done like first of all using HTTPS instead of HTTP. HTTPS is more secure, and implementing rate limiting CORS. Rate limiting for sometimes what hacker does is like unnecessary API hits. So if we limit the API, it will be uh, more secure. CORS for cross-origin resource sharing, and middleware we have. It is just like a security gate between this request and response. Validating the inputs, sanitizing it beforehand, and using helmet for validating the HTTP headers authorizations header. And yeah, So these type of techniques I have implemented, and JWT token for authentication, making.
Okay. So like as you implemented rate limiter, so like what do you think, like what should be the ideal time you will set in the rate limiter for the APIs? Like how many requests for how many minutes or second for an IP?
As per we have implemented, it is we have set the timer of the token expiration time is we have implemented it is according to the client need. It was 2 hours. It is token expiration time, and request per limit we have set to 12. So
Sorry?
rate limiting we have set to 12. Am I audible?
Yeah, 12. I didn't get you, like 12.
So it is like per let's say within 15 minutes. It is if it exceeds 12, the login request exceeds 12 times. So we will like move into the consideration. That is what
Okay,
I'm
okay.
like. It was according to the client need because our client is Dr. Reddy's. It was not normal user. It was the pharmaceutical users who send the pharmaceutical ingredients like chemical formulas. So that is what.
Yeah, I am asking about your project only, like where you have
Yeah,
implemented. So what was their
yeah.
time there? Like 12 requests per minute or second? I didn't
With,
get
within we have set it in 15 minutes. That
12 requests per patient.
for 15 minutes.
Okay. So, what if like the scenario is like there would be a brute force attack or a bot automatic attack, or some user had just automated the script in your login section, and they just sending the request for, like, you can say 9 requests per 15 minute. On every 15 minutes, they are just keep hitting your login API like till the 9 or 10. And how would you design this mechanism to prevent these users or bot from repeatedly sending the request in this short period? How would you avoid these things so that
Yeah,
it will
this
just
is
not overwhelm your system? Yeah.
yeah. So this is already this is already done. One of the hacker has done this from different locations. He was sending the request, and so on that case, first of all, what we have done is we have stopped uh, the like we have first down the system for some time. Downtime was there, and after that, what we have done is we have reduced the we have reduced the time, and also we were checking the origin. First of all, the CORS, so cross origin resource sharing. So we have limited at that time the time and rate limit, and we have secured for that moment. But yeah, this can be secured.
Kushi, like I
But
didn't get, like you mentioned that for some time you down the system, like which system? Like I didn't get it.
our system, because I'm saying that it happened in my project.
Yeah,
One of
yeah.
the hackers attacking unnecessary requests with this with the our set rate limiting and timing. So what we have done is we have immediately down the system and we have reduced the times. I have said 15 minutes. We reduced it
You
to
mean
5.
down the server? You mean down
I
the
have
server?
down the server. Yeah, correct. And as it was from different locations, we have to identify the user, whether it is malicious effect or it is like loading the system if client is loading the system. So we have identified, but we have reduced the time from 15 to 5. But again, we have came to 15 because it was the client need. It was not the system was
Okay.
still not secured.
Okay, so like, do you think this is the right way to down the system? For example, if your user base grows and it reaches up to more than 10,000 concurrency users, and just by a single hacker, you are just down your server and as it of course it will impact on other users as well. So do you think this is the
Correct,
right way
correct.
to prevent this thing?
It is totally not correct way of handling this. Could you give me one minute? Yes, sorry, I was looking at it.
No issues.
Yes, uh, it is not correct way of handling these kind of situations.
Okay, okay, no issues. Let's move to the next question. So as you mentioned that you have also implemented the tokens as well for the security, right? For the
Mm-hmm.
authentication. So may I know like what which type of tokens you have used?
We have used JWT, JSON Web Token. Uh, yeah, that we have implemented.
Okay, and you mean by the access token?
Yeah, it was access
Okay,
token.
okay. Like we also implemented or worked on the refresh tokens or any other type of like CSRF token, worked on this as well.
No, I have only worked on access token. Refresh token we
Okay.
have not implemented.
Okay, so like, do you know like while when the users gets logged in, how would you pass token, this access, JWT access token from the backend? Can you help me with this? Like how, what are the steps? How we are passing this?
Yeah. So the whole flow begins when the user signs in on the system. We check the credentials like the user ID and the password which is provided. First of all, we check whether it exists on the system or not. After that, we check whether the entered password and the hashed password on the DB matching or not. If it is matching, we will move on to the next stage. We generate a token from the backend end and we pass it to the front end. The front end stores the token uh, on a local storage or wherever it is like secure in a secure way. So we it sets the token on authorization header bearer token there, and on each and every request now the front end will pass the token on each and every request. Like if it is routing to the dashboard, routing to the payment or data page, so it will send the request with a token. So on the backend end, what we will check first of all there is a middleware. We will check whether the token is provided or not. If it is not, we will throw a unauthorized error. And if it is provided and it is valid, we have JWT. On the backend end, we will check the token along with the JWT secret. We will use JWT.verify with both of these token and secret, and then we will pass it to the next callback. Then user can access the data and dashboard. So this is how the
Oh,
flow begins.
and how you are sending this token from the backend to front end?
From the backend to front end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when the user signs in, we in response we send a token,
Okay, in the
and that
response.
we right, good. And that token on the front end it stores whether it is let's say on a session storage on a local storage, and then set it to the authorization header. We take it, we take the token, and we on each request we send that token on each and every request
Okay,
after.
okay. Got it. Got it. So do you know like which one is more secure way to pass this token from the on the backend to front end? Because of course in the response if you are sending this token, then it can be easily visible by the attacker. So do you think is there any other way to pass this token so that no third party will able to get access this token or see this token?
Okay, instead of passing it to the response, you are saying
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
any other way.
yeah, yeah.
So any other way I need to think on this. But to verify if use if any attacker will get the token, how will they? Because token we have secret key also, which we keep in a environment file. There is no use even if they get token.
Suppose like you have a dashboard, and in the dashboard there is some also payment integration steps as well in your application, and I got your API, just the endpoint from somewhere else, and I'll just keep hitting that response from any other source instead of logging in. I'll get the token in the response easily. Then by this token, I can easily, without interpreting my name, without my identity, I can do anything with that token. So is there any other way to pass that token directly in the response from the backend?
As of now, I am not getting any like idea about it, but I will surely search on it.
Okay.
And
Do
what
you
the other thing is coming in my mind is limiting the expiration time for the token.
okay? Do you know like the cookies, how it
Cookies, yeah.
works? HTTP only
Cookies.
cookies, non-HTTP only cookies.
I know the basic use case of cookies, in which we store uh, the data which we frequently access, like the username, the name, address, phone number, email. So manual writing is avoided if we store it to the cookies. But yeah, HTTP only and HTTP. So that I have to read more about it because I've not done it.
Okay. So you know the basic of cookies. Like, can you explain me like what is cookies?
Cookies is a temporary data which we store. It is not the data which is not confidential, like password, token, or let's say if we are uh, putting the card number, debit card number, and the PIN. So these are confidential data. We don't keep it to cookies, but the data is like email, name, and all. We don't want to keep repeating typing it, so we keep it to the cookie. So user experience gets smooth because it is suggested by the cookies itself because it is safe. This is the use
But
cases and
ho-
the temporary data we store in the cookies.
okay, but how we are storing this temporary data in the cookies? Of course, it will not get generated automatically. So how we are saving that data in the cookies? Do you know?
On the backend end, right? That I have to search about it. How we store the syntax. Definitely, there is a syntax. I will search.
Okay, no issues. And have you also worked on any real-time application?
By the real-time application, you mean the chat application?
Yeah, any real-time like the notification, chatting, where just the real-time implemented things or the event-driven programming you have implemented. That's it.
No, that is not. I've
Like
only worked on.
using sockets.
I have used WebSockets, but I have not worked on uh,
Oh,
like the the real time application. I have not worked on. I have the scenario was we had internal Drupal team, so they were sending the data of the medicines. So we were not explicitly calling the API. We were internally using WebSockets to get the data on the real time. So it is done on automatic basis. So instead of calling, we were internally using WebSockets to call Drupal API. Then we were getting the medicines data, the pharmaceutical data, and then we were showing it and saving it on our database on the backend side. Then from the front end side, we were making a different call. So this is how I have used websites internal.
okay, got it. So meanwhile, can you please share your screen?